Hey everyone, this is a different kind of video. Today I want to talk about accountability. Not drama, not gossip, not cancel culture, but accountability. Lately I have been seeing that word used a lot. And I'm realizing that many people seem to have very different definitions of what it actually means. To me, accountability isn't saying, I've already apologized. It's not saying that was a long time ago. It's not saying that people are taking things out of context, and it most definitely is not saying that everyone who disagrees with me is a bully. To me, accountability is being willing to sit with uncomfortable truths. It's being willing to hear that you've hurt someone without immediately looking for a reason as to why their feelings aren't valid. It's being willing to ask yourself, what role did I play in this situation, even when the answer isn't flattering. I've been noticing multiple people coming forward with similar experiences, and the immediate response has been to dismiss them all. They're jealous, they're haters, they're bitter, they're bullying, or they're part of some group effort. Well, here's my question. At what point do we stop assuming that dozens of people are independently lying, and when do we start considering that there might be a pattern worth examining? Accountability isn't looking at 10 people with similar experiences and deciding that all 10 are the problem. Accountability is being able to ask why those experiences keep happening. Another thing accountability is not: deleting criticism, hiding comments, reporting people for harassment because they ask uncomfortable questions, removing entire conversations once people start requesting answers. That's just not accountability. If somebody wants accountability, difficult questions should not be viewed as an attack. I'm not talking about threats. I'm not talking about stalking. I'm not talking about people crossing boundaries. Those things are never okay. But asking questions, pointing out contradictions, and discussing documented behavior, those aren't harassment, not automatically. Something else that is getting brought up a lot lately is context, and I agree that context matters. It can explain things and it can add nuance. It can completely change the meaning of some situations, but it's not a magic eraser. There are some statements and behaviors that remain concerning even after context is provided. And when people are repeatedly pointing out these concerns, responding with "you're taking it out of context" is not accountability. It's deflection. One of the most frustrating things to watch is when accountability becomes performative. When someone says they want accountability, says they've changed, says they've grown, but every criticism is met with a new explanation. Every concern is somebody else's fault. Every former supporter becomes a bully. Every uncomfortable conversation becomes harassment. Every question becomes an attack. At some point, people stop hearing accountability and start hearing excuses. Growth isn't something that you announce. Growth is something people observe. Growth looks like consistency and like transparency. It looks like acknowledging harm without immediately explaining why everyone else is wrong. It looks like making changes that other people can actually see. Perhaps most importantly, growth looks like not needing to silence criticism in order to maintain your narrative. I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. They believe accountability means controlling the conversation, but accountability actually means allowing the conversation to happen. Not because every criticism is correct, not because every accusation is fair, but because people deserve to be heard, even when what they're saying is uncomfortable. Actually, especially when what they're saying is uncomfortable. At the end of the day, accountability isn't about convincing people that you're a good person. It's about taking responsibility for your actions, regardless of whether people see you as a good person. It's not about protecting your image. It's about addressing the behavior. And it's not making criticisms disappear. It's learning from it. So if you're someone who is currently facing criticism, I encourage you to ask yourself one question. Am I addressing the concern, or am I just addressing the fact that people are talking about it? Because those are two very different things. Thank you for listening, and we will get back to our normal content soon.